Press the bell icon on our YouTube app and never miss another video from SpotboyE.
The term Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana is something that every Indian has to say at some point or the other in their lives. Now, we have a film on the same name. So let's have a chat with the lead cast of the film, Rajkummar Rao and Kriti Kharbanda. Welcome to the show.
Thank
so,
you.
without going into anything else, what is the cast, when, how? Just give us a bit brief about
As
it.
you said, the lead cast and the cast.
Yeah.
So all of us have come together. Nothing. I was just performing for Farah ma'am's show, Lip Sync Battle, and I was doing some stunts there. I just fell from a height and just broke my ankle.
Okay. And I cannot obviously go ahead before congratulating you for Newton's
Thank you.
Oscar
Thank you so
nomination.
much. Thank
So
you.
does life change after having an Oscar nomination? Does things change?
No, it's India's official entry. We still have to be nominated in the final top 5. But I'm very happy, and I think Newton is a film that's very special to us, like all of us. It's very close to our heart, and we made it with a lot of sincerity. I think it's a really honest film, and when film like Newton, makes it's a box office success, then it becomes a Oscars entry. It feels great, when you work hard and people appreciate it,
Okay. And coming to this film, Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana, what is the film about? What are you all playing? What are you all playing?
Well, we are हमारी शादी है और हमारी शादी में जिस कार्ड पे लिखा होता है ना जलूल जलूल आना तो so it's a you want to tell about the film?
No, first I want to ask you, how do you like the title?
Obviously, as I mentioned in the intro, Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana is something that every Indian
Everybody
at some
knows.
point or other has to say.
Everyone knows.
Okay, so there was this argument after a point कि हम लोग ये title के साथ जाएं कि नहीं, and this was my exact argument. I said it is so relatable because every Indian says
man.
it. Like not just their wedding, हम लोग invite करने जाते किसी को
Every
शादी में
card
जरूर
you
आना
get,
परिवार
शादी जरूर
समेत आना.
Yeah.
So I
And
was like,
obviously for themselves also at some point in their lives also.
Correct. So Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana is a film about these two people, Sattu and Aarti, and their families. It's set in a small town in like Kanpur, Allahabad and Lucknow. It's a very how we have very mundane life that we live in most of the part of our country. That you work, you study, you work, you meet your prospective bride and groom, and you get married. So the story goes till there when they are getting married. But then, of course, twist and turn happens, and of course, she elopes or runs away for some reason.
She leaves you at the altar.
She leaves me, just on the day of wedding, same night. And then they meet again after 5 years.
Okay.
And they have been in love. They've shared something very beautiful 5 years earlier. And now they are at different juncture of life, different personalities altogether. But so then what happens, when two people who were in love meet again after 5 years and they have something, they have shared a past.
Okay, and what's your take about the film? As you mentioned, he mentioned about his character. Why do you elope?
why do I
We
elope?
can't say.
पूरी बाकी की script बता.
We'll email you
How
the
much-
script,
At least how much you can reveal, whatever you can tell about your character.
I think the one thing I can tell people is a lot of people are saying कि भाग जाती है, किस लिए भाग रही होगी, अरे उसको शायद नौकरी करनी है या she's maybe he's not as supportive, but the truth is Sattu is very supportive. He is very forward. In their first meeting, the film starts with him saying हमें आपकी नौकरी करने से कोई आपत्ति नहीं है. So no, that is not the reason.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you all know.
Okay.
It's something else.
There's
So
something.
I
It's a
think
major
that's what,
conflict.
it is a major conflict, but that's what makes it interesting. And for me, the film has been a roller coaster ride of emotions. It has everything. People already, I know people. You go on your social media and you read about the responses people have. I've done so many films. And now when I read the responses to Sattu and Aarti, like the women want to marry Sattu and the boys want to marry Aarti, and I love that. I just love it. People are accepting Sattu and Aarti already. In the first trailer itself, we have this shot of the cup. So that's our idea of romance. It is not just physical intimacy. Of course, there will be physical attraction if there are two people, but here, this is romance, and we're showing them romance again. And I know the reason why people will love watching it is because it's very rare in today's day and age.
Okay.
But that's how romance is in small towns, Like I grew up in a small town, and I know that's exactly what we used to do. We used to touch, like hold fingers for probably 5 seconds. And that's about it. I think for 1 week we'd be happy that today I held her finger.
इसकी उंगली touch होगी मुझे.
You mentioned about the small town factor. So nowadays a lot of films have gone into the small towns and they are doing well. Your films like Bareli Ki Barfi and even the other films, a lot of other films, they have done well. What do you think is the reason behind this?
I think they're very relatable. I think then and people connect to these characters from small towns, and most of our country live in small towns.
True.
You know, like 80% of our population, they live in small towns. So probably that's the reason they could connect to all these characters, and they believe these characters. Like we're not selling dreams in these films. We're trying to portray reality. People that you could believe, people that you could connect with. You are seeing yourself or your friend or your neighbor in that character. That's the reason. I think the believability and the connectivity is much more.
Okay. And talking about the film Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana, like I have seen the trailer. There's a small angle where it seems like there's a revenge factor that the guy comes after 5 years and now he wants a revenge from the girl. I read it
Well,
on,
he's heartbroken, yes, of
Okay.
course. And when you're madly in love with someone and they break your heart, it's very painful. You feel very strongly about it. And that's the reason probably Sattu is doing whatever he's doing, because he's heartbroken.
Okay. And I'm asking this because I read it somewhere on some social media where someone had commented on the fact that like Sattu going after the girl and taking a revenge out of from her. So like does that go against the concept that we are trying to promote in India, like no means no? If a girl says no, so she means no.
It's not
He's
trying
not
to rape
forcing.
me.
Yeah, there's no he's not forcing anything.
And
It's
revenge
very
is not always terrible. Revenge can even happen in silence. You never know.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
till you
it's-
don't watch the movie, don't judge it. You don't know what's
Yeah,
actually coming your way.
It's not about it's not that serious that I'm trying to do something forcefully. It's a very sweet film. The revenge is also, it's not your typical revenge.
It's a very
There's,
sweet revenge.
Like two people
That's
have,
the word.
yeah, it's a very
Pyar
sweet
se
film.
marta hai.
Yeah.
Okay. And talking about the songs, some of the songs have really done well. Which are your favorite song? What is your favorite song of this film?
So my favorite would be, I think, Jogi. I really like Jogi. And I loved dancing on Palo Latke.
Okay. And what's your?
Mine is Banaras. It's going to come out next week. But
Oh.
the audio is out now.
Okay.
But the video is going to come out next week. But as a song, Banaras, I feel, is the soul of Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana.
So all of you can just hook onto that and wait for that. Okay, so talking about the film also, like the other films that you are doing, you have been known to do like lesser films in a year. This year you have like 7, 8 films coming out.
No, not 7, 5. I think this is my 5th release, yeah.
Okay, so like what's changed this year? Like why coming out with your films releasing, you have like web series coming up.
Yeah.
So like what's different this year?
I don't know. I didn't plan it like that. Yeah, I was just like last year only Ali got released, and I was just shooting for all these films last year and this year, like beginning of this year. And I think it's just a mere coincidence. You know, they're all releasing this year. I didn't plan it. My producers planned it that way. But I'm glad. You know, I'm happy with the fact that they're all different films and I'm playing different characters in them. If it would have been all same kind of stories and same character, then it becomes very monotonous.
Okay.
So as long as they're different, I have no complaints. Yeah.
Okay, and Kriti, you have been a part of a lot of films in the down south as well, and now you are in Bollywood. This is your 3rd film, if I'm not wrong. So, what kind of differences do you feel like on the sets, like of a south film? Like, wahan par, what is the feel, and like what is the feel on a Bollywood set? What kind
How
of
can it be different? My question is, how can it be different?
But a lot of people say that there's a lot of difference. Some talk about like punctuality or whatever. That could be a different reason. So, like, I
Raj
don't
is
know.
very punctual.
Thank you.
Rajan always come on time. No,
I think on the
I've
language
always
difference,
maintained, I agree, language is the only difference.
Okay.
Secondly, I've always maintained there are no good and bad industries, there are no professional and non-professional industries. There are good and bad people, and there are professional and non-professional
Non-professional,
people.
true.
Yeah,
You can meet them anywhere.
Yeah.
I can meet them here, I can meet them there. You never know. So for me, there is zero difference.
Okay, and also like on the same, because we are on the same topic. So last week there was a huge controversy where a contestant on Big Boss, she said that actresses from South, they are asked to put on weight and they are portrayed as bulging, and that became the topic like of discussion on social media. You have been working, like you work there. So like, what have you ever faced, or have you known someone who has faced something of that sort, or is it completely untrue?
It was, I think, Hina Khan
Yeah,
who made
true.
that comment.
Yeah.
I had great respect for her before that. She's a very big name in television. That is not how you talk about people. You can look at me. I've been an actress down south. There's no need to, it's rather unfortunate that an actor is talking like that, an actor of that caliber is talking like that. I am very mad. I am very angry. I do not support that statement.
Okay.
And the South industry, be it Tamanna, be it Kajal, be it Samantha, be it anybody, our weight is our issue. If we want to gain weight, we gain weight. किसी ने कोई सूली पे नहीं चढ़ा रहा आपको कि you have to do it. I know that I have always, no one's ever asked me to do it. I know for a fact no one's ever been asked to do it. I was asked to gain some weight for Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana.
Okay.
So, I was asked to gain 2-3 kilos. Ratna ma'am said, I don't want this character to look like she works out. I want her to look like a nice, bubbly young girl from home. She shouldn't look like she hits the gym. So what, I'm supposed to hold it against her and say, Arey, Ratna ma'am जैसी जो ये छोटे टाउन की पिक्चरें बनाते हैं ना, इनका मन करता है कि मोटी लड़कियां. How dare you say something like that? I'm sorry, I'm getting really pissed off right now.
Yeah. But it's okay, like, because everyone was coming out with the same kind of
I'm
comments
very
on the
angry.
same.
That's not how you talk about an industry. It's about characters you play. If today I'm on a keto diet because I need to shoot a song and I want to look really good in it and I want to be in great shape. But otherwise, I don't believe in being in great shape. I want to feel relatable.
True.
I don't want people to look at me and be like, "Arey, yaar, roz gym jati hai." I want them to be like, "Arey, I want to be like her because she looks naturally. She looks nice." So you do things. He put on so much weight for Bose.
Yeah, true.
So we're playing characters. And if someone's asked her, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this out loud, but if someone's asked her to gain weight and she's disagreed to do it, they probably asked you to gain weight because they needed it for the character.
Yeah.
How do you
quite
know? What do you
possible.
mean bulging अच्छी लगती है, दो थप्पड़ खाएगी उधर ही.
Okay, coming back to this topic, Raj, on the same topic, what's your take on this? Like, you have gained weight, as she mentioned on Bose. You keep changing your look for different films, different weight gains and all. So what's your take? Like, do you think like actors should have a strict like body tone, or do they have to change?
I think it should be a neutral body, yeah. Because as an actor, you have to gain weight, you have to lose weight. Depends on the character, depends on the film that you're doing. So I've always tried and maintain a very normal look, as she's saying. You know, I don't want to keep. Anyways, it's very tough to maintain those six packs
Yeah,
throughout.
it's
It's very
very
tough
difficult.
to build those six packs. And immense respect for people who have it.
And
I
they
have
do
no.
it for a reason.
They
na?
do it for a
suits
reason.
their
Yeah,
personality.
yeah,
That's the
correct.
way they want to portray
Correct.
themselves. That's great. You have that dedication. When I see a Deepika Padukone workout, I see a Varun Dhawan workout, I'm like, whoa, they have some dedication.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I
but
don't have it.
Yeah, like in Badlapur, Varun didn't show any six
Yeah.
pack. It was not required.
Not required.
When it's required, of course, he will show it. Like for Omerta, I built my muscles because it was required. Yeah.
Okay. And talking about, like you all mentioned about Ratna ma'am, so just you have worked with a couple of female directors. I was speaking to Alankrita Srivastava, the director of Lipstick Under My Burqa a few days back, and she mentioned this fact that female directors on set do not get that much of serious respect from the crew and the cast at times. Do you, like, have you ever
No,
felt
I
that?
haven't experienced that. I worked with a lot of female directors,
Yeah.
starting from Reema Kakti, Meera Nair,
True.
Ashwini, and now Ratna ma'am. I've never faced that. I've never experienced that on set. I think a director is a director. It's about you, like probably how you are managing, how you are, you're the captain of the ship.
True.
It's you, how you're managing everything. You have to, everybody's following your vision. So I was very happy. I didn't feel any difference between a male director and a female director. For me, it's the director, I'm listening to.
Okay. And what would be your take? Like, do you feel better or like more easily, openly connecting to a female director, or like it's the same for both?
Honestly, it's the same for both. It's about a good, it's about a good or bad director.
True.
It doesn't matter what if I get a female director tomorrow. I may be able to talk to her about a couple of extra things personally, not professionally. We may be able to get more personal, but what if she's not a good director? What am I going to do with her? Same thing with a male director. I have a lot of friends. All my friends are boys. So that doesn't, for me, it's never been difficult. The only difference, like we've discussed before, is मैं अभी रत्ना मैम की गोदी में आराम से बैठ सकती हूँ, कोई controversy नहीं होगी.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That's the only thing I see differently. Secondly, I want to add to the whole respect part of it because I feel respect is something that you have to earn.
True. Very true.
It doesn't matter what gender you are of. Just because you're a man, you will not be respected. If you're not good at your job and you don't know how to behave with people, people will disrespect you. So it has nothing to do with men, women.
Okay. And coming back to the fact that this is your third film
Yeah.
in Hindi. So when a couple of films don't do well at the box office, do the scripts coming your way, do they change? What's the outlook like? Do things change?
Of course they change. I feel like, at least for me, post Raz and post Guest in London, fortunately, I believe I've got good scripts.
Okay.
I got Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana,
Obviously,
even
yeah.
before Guest in London released. But I got lucky with that, is what I feel, that it came to me. And once you have the great thing is, once you have a hit or once you have a show reel, you have something to present yourself
Yeah.
with. It's easier for people to develop faith in you.
Okay.
When your film doesn't do well, most of them haven't watched it, you can't really blame a director for not being able to approach you in a role. He doesn't even know what you're capable
Yeah.
of. So I guess that's why it's important to have just one hit so people start noticing you, and after that, if one person has faith in you, word of mouth increases. So I feel it's a cycle. Am I right?
Yeah, true.
And talking about on the same topic, I was speaking to another actress, I won't name her. So she mentioned that when there are a couple of flops on your list, then the directors coming out, the producers coming away, they ask you to slash your prices.
Yeah.
So like, how true or how, what is
They
your take?
offer you what you think, what they think you deserve. Now it's up to you. If you think you deserve more, say no, na.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, each to his own.
Yeah.
Each to their own.
So I feel like I don't really see. I'm here to make money also. This is my bread and butter. But the truth is, I also want to do good films. खाली पैसे के लिए करके क्या फायदा?
Yeah.
So if you're getting a great script, and if at some level the producer feels that you can't bring, you know, an opening they want, or you don't bring that credibility as a star to the film, but you bring credibility as an actor.
Actor to the film, obviously.
So there's a way of approaching the situation where a producer says, listen, this is my budget. I can't do better than this. Can you just make it work? We think you're a good actor and you can do the film. When a producer approaches you like that, it's great. And there are producers who say, अरे बहुत बड़ी picture दे रहे, free में कर लो. Then you don't feel like working. You don't feel like doing that film.
Yeah.
You may think it's good for you, but you'll be like, listen, I don't want to be. It's a matter of respect. Again.
Okay. And do you believe in the concept that there pay disparity exists in Bollywood between male and female actors?
Between males also it exists, na? Are you telling me from everyone from a Salman Khan to a newcomer is paid the same amount?
Obviously not.
So they are paid according to what they can bring to the table. So why are we only talking about male and female?
Because a lot of actors.
I'm not paid as much as Deepika ma'am.
Yeah,
Now,
true.
मैं उसके लिए भी लड़ने लग जाऊँ क्या? Listen, you will get paid what another person. If it's a producer, he's here to make money. If he doesn't make money from one film, he can't make the next. You will be out of a job. You will earn that over a period of time. Equality is not about money. Equality is about respect.
Okay. And what's your take? What she mentioned was actually what I was going ahead to. Like, obviously a bigger, even it exists in the male co-stars, male stars. So do you also believe that like it does exist? And
It's very natural. It has to exist. Yeah, you can't have like equality from that perspective. You know, I know the kind of money my film will make or Salman Sar's film will make. It's different. So I know the kind of money he will get and I will get is different. So there's no point comparing. First of all, why do you have to compare?
Exactly.
Yeah, are you here only for money? You'll have to ask yourself. Then take it from there. I'm not here only for money, so it doesn't matter to me. As long as I'm getting to do the kind of films I want to do and they're doing well, I'm okay about it.
okay. And as she mentioned about this being the bread and butter, obviously it's the bread and butter for y'all. So like, would you do a film like if you really love the script, would you do it for free?
I've done it. I've done it in past.
Yeah,
I've done
but
it for
now that
really
you
less
are-
money or almost zero money. I've done it. Yeah.
Okay. And coming back to more jovial topics about the fact that you do a Newton or a Nomarta, which are like serious topics, whereas at the same time you also manage to do a Behan Hogi Teri or a Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana. Is there an inherent need to bring that romantic chocolate boy hero out and do
There's no
something
need
else?
of anything. It's not like for the first time somebody offered me a Bareilly or a Behan or Shaadi. I've been offered the script since LSD days, but somehow my belief was not there in those scripts because they were there just for the heck of it. You know, there was no story in it. There was no character. There was no scope to perform. But these are the script which matches my sensibilities and which talks about character, which talks about there's some kind of realism in these films, which I try and look for in all my scripts.
Okay.
There's a logic to everything. So that's the thing I look for in a script, and I found these logics, like these points in all these scripts, and they're wonderful scripts.
True.
Wonderfully written, beautifully edged out characters. So there was no point for me to say no. And I didn't do these films because I wanted to make a balance of a commercial or a Newton. For me, Newton is as commercial. Newton is one of the biggest success,
True,
biggest
very
success
true.
of this year.
Yeah.
So how do you judge a commercial and a non-commercial film?
Okay. And obviously the commercial and the non-commercial, the line is blurring. That's what
Blurring,
everyone-
absolutely blurring. Like for me, Queen is a hardcore commercial film, and that's a Kai Poche is a commercial film. But people like a Trapped is a commercial film. Not only just because you have 5 songs in a film. So in people's perspective, that becomes
Yeah.
commercial. Yeah.
It's entertainment.
True.
Yeah.
And talking about Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana, there's also a talk about a clash happening. Like Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana releases on the same day Irfan Khan's film releases. So
Yeah.
like, what's your, as actors, what kind of, like, what is your take
I
on
think
it?
these are
Oh
two
my
very
God.
different films. Yeah.
What do we do now?
I think these are very different films, and it always happens. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
just 52 Fridays, and we make around 300, 400 films.
True.
So it has to happen. It's bound to happen. You can't control it. But I've seen the trailer. I really liked it. But I think they're two very different films.
Yeah.
And I think they'll find their own audience. Yeah. There's no point of there's no competition in arts. Yeah.
Okay, then obviously there's no, like, if there's no
You
competition.
know, the great thing is within the industry, nobody's competing कि अरे यार मुझे उस picture से better करना है.
Yeah.
Everyone's hoping every movie
Every
does well
movie
because
does
we
well.
really need it
Yeah,
right
man.
now.
Okay. And on parting shots like Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana, when do we hear Rajkummar Rao telling out to the world कि मेरी शादी में जरूर आना?
अभी 10th November को शादी है यार, please come.
This is the wedding.
Yeah, this is the
This is
wedding.
the wedding.
10th November शादी है और हमारी शादी में जरूर आना आप. See, here we go.
परिवार समेत निमंत्रण.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, what after this? Like, Omerta is there. Anything
Yeah.
apart from that on
So
your?
Bose will be out in November, third week,
Okay.
and then there's Omerta that'll be releasing early next year.
अरे
Then
इसकी
I'm,
लिस्ट खत्म नहीं होगी मैं सोकर आती हूँ.
then I'm shooting a Fannekha and then I'll talk. Yeah, okay?
बस
Yeah.
ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है.
And what about you? What after this? we have?
I have Veere ki wedding coming with Pulkit Samrat and I have
Yamla
Yamla
Pagla
Pagla
Deewana.
Deewana फिर से. That's all.
That's all. So obviously it's
Yeah.
like a mixed bag. So thank you.
I know what else he is doing, so it's okay.
Okay, so if you can tell it on camera or
No way, that's
no.
bro code. I was doing bro
Pinky
code
promise.
na.
Yeah. Pizza promise.
Pizza promise.
Okay, all the very best for the film, and
Thank you.
we hope like Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana, people will come in masses to watch your wedding
Yes.
and whatever the things unfold, as you all can't reveal a
Yeah.
lot about it.
It's a
Thank
great
you.
Indian wedding, man. Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much
dude.
for being on the show.
Thank you.
you.